we're talking to former COA Commissioner Heidi Mendoza. Welcome back to StoryCon, ma'am.
Magandang hapon po.
Hi, magandang hapon, Ed and Regina. Siyempre, hindi natin makakalimutan yung StoryCon.
Thank you, ma'am.
But it's
Ma'am, may
it's
magic
a quiet
question
day
kami.
today. Oh, magic question.
Oh, kasi dun sa
Baka
committee,
hindi ko alam sagutin.
Alam niyo, ma'am.
Alam mo yan,
Alam niyo yung
alam mo
sagot.
yan.
Alam niyo yung sagot.
kasi dun sa Justice Committee, I understand si Gloria Camora ng ICFAO, yung Intelligence and Confidential Funds Audit Office ng COA, revealed na yung notice of disallowance against Sara Duterte's use of 72.3 million in confidential funds has been denied, denying the petition of Duterte.
Actually, the right term is has been affirmed by the commission proper, di ba?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, tell us about that. Give us the entire banana, the whole nuancing of everything. What does that mean?
Ano kasi yun di ba? Una muna, ilagay natin sa tamang konteksto. Confidential Intelligence Fund, iba yung paggastos nito, di ba? Inuuna muna yung cash na advance, di ba? And then they submit a certification plus the work and financial plan. And then o-auditin ng accepting yung liquidation, saka ililibro, di ba? Yun yung proseso. Pero in the process na tinanggap mo yung certificate, ang una nilang ginawa ay nag-issue sila ng audit observation. Sa audit observation, sabi nila, parang hindi namin ma-account itong ninyo kasi kailangan namin ng mga documents para makita kung valid ang expenditure. So ayan, nag-submit sila, no? Now, pag kulang ang dokumento, pwede kang mag-issue ng notice of suspension. Para bang hindi ka pa sigurado ngayon kung dapat talaga itong hindi payagan dahil baka naman merong dokumento or informasyon na
Mahahabol pa.
makakapaliwanag.
Notice of suspension yun.
Oo. Pagkatapos nun, pag talagang malinaw na, katulad nun, nagsubmit sila ng mga DEPs or Documentary Evidence of Payment, nakita nila, may mga DEPs na 2023 ang date. Ang nililiquidate 2022, di ba? And then meron din na tinatawag silang may binigay na reward, pero base kasi sa joint circular, dapat nung sa pagbibigay ng reward, malinaw na ano yung impormasyon na how successful is the program kaya ka nagbigay ng reward. Ang dokumento nila doon, if I'm not mistaken, is a certification ng military, hindi ko na masyado yung unit, na sinasabi nilang tagumpay dahil wala namang untoward incident sa protection nila sa OVP. So parang hindi ito confidential So, and then nung pangatlo, nung tiningnan nila yung accomplishment report, vis-a-vis yung liquidation document, magkaiba yung naka-reflect na activity. Di ba? Sabi ko nga, itong approach ng audit na ito na yung pinaka-light dahil ang tawag nga dito, parang certification audit lang kasi titingnan mo yung certificate. And on the basis of that, saka ka maghihingi ng anong kasunod na action. So in effect, nag-issue sila ng disallowance. Ngayon, pagka-issue ng disallowance, within 180 days, meron silang right to appeal. At nakita ko, talaga sila yun. They submitted the appeal parang on the 175th day. Parang ganyan, Now, nireviewin ito ng commission proper. Ibig sabihin sa commission proper, yung chairman at yung dalawang commissioner. At yun nga, yung nabanggit ni Auditor Attorney Camora na affirm ng commission proper. So, ang ibig sabihin, yung pag-disallow ng team ng ICFAO ay ina-affirm ng commission proper. At ang maganda dito, unanimous yung decision, 3 silang nakapirma, di ba? Nakita ko yung picture ng 3 silang nakapirma, So, yun ay isang patunay na ang ibig sabihin, merong kailangang ibalik. At lilinawin lang natin kasi merong marami nagsasabi, wala pa naman patunay na may maling paggastos or irregular na expenditure. Sabi ko, teka, sabi ko, yung determination ng tinatawag nating regularity or validity of income and expenditure. In this case, we're talking about expenditure dahil confidential funds, di ba? It is the sole jurisdiction of the Commission on Audit, di ba? Bagamat may appeal yan sa Supreme Court, ang iaano na lang nila doon ay yung petition for certiorari. Na ang focus na lang ito ay hindi na yung kung valid ba o invalid. Kasi nga sole jurisdiction niya ng COA So malinaw, may ibabalik ka kasi hindi tama yung paggastos. Ang pag-uusapan na lang sa Supreme Court, of course, kung mag-a-appeal sila doon, ay yung tinatawag nating nagkaroon ba ng abuse of this, di ba? Yung baka naman nagkaroon ng hindi ka nabigyan ng tamang pagdinig, walang due process, yun na lang ang pag-uusapan, etc. But of course, we cannot predict ano magiging decision dyan. Dahil as I've said, maraming desisyon nung nakaupo ako sa Supreme Court na merong mga desisyon na lumabas na disallowance affirmed but no refund. Hindi, di ba? Parang sinabi mo, tama naman yan. Disallowance, pero no refund.
So,
Bakit ganito? Kakaiba ito. But of course, we respect the court. Sa kanilang mga desisyon. Pero dito sa ating example, ang gusto lang natin patunayan ay hindi tama na sinasabi, hindi pa final na sinasabi na irregular yung No, as far as the Commission is concerned, and because this is the exclusive the determination ng regularity and validity of the expense, Commission on Audit yan. So, yun. Ngayon, may appeal process pa pong natitira. At mahalaga yan dahil parte yun ng due process. They still have 30 days para sa isa pang motion for reconsideration within the Commission proper. And I think baka ako doon sa days mga 60 days naman na mag-file ng certiorari sa Supreme Court. Pag hindi sila nag-appeal, wala silang in-appeal, wala silang then yung tinatawag nating notice of finality of decision. In other words, magiging final and executory yung notice of disallowance. So in which case, papasa yan sa balikat ng resident auditor. Yung resident auditor ng ahensya, Office of the Vice President, siya ngayon ang magmo-monitor niyan. And ito yung malungkot. It is the Office of the Vice President then na siyang maniningil or mag-i-ensure na mabayaran yung dapat ibalik sa pamahalaan.
Okay, ma'am, I'm going to get to Article 64 later, but since you touched on due process, that is exactly what her team is arguing, that she was denied due process daw because the auditors did not, they issued a notice of disallowance in 2024 without first releasing an audit observation memorandum. I don't know how true this is, but what do you know about it?
Yeah.
And because of that, they said they are arguing that her right to due process was violated.
Well, malinaw yan dun sa process namin Meron kasi yung parang rules, nakalagay doon na parang ganito yun ikaw yung nagbabantay ng pera ng bayan. Nothing should prevent you na para bang may nakita kang mali. I-issue mo kaagad yung na, teka, idasilaw mo yan. Parang nasabi mo na hindi pwedeng i-accept ng gobyerno, hindi pwedeng ilibro yan at kilalanin bilang isang valid na paggastos ng pera ng bayan. Ganon, hindi mo na kailangang mag-issue pa process. In other words, yung pag-issue ng AOM, it's just a progression, kumbaga, okay, on a regular transaction, magsisimula ka sa audit observation kasi you have the time and you have the naka-reside ka dun sa agency. And then pag hindi ma-kumpleto yung you will request a suspension for submission of additional documents kung papeles lang ang kulang. Pero kapag nakita mo hindi ito usapin ng papeles, usapin na ito ng validity ng expenditure or compliance with laws, rules, and regulations, then may issue ka na ng disallowance. Pero hindi issue ng tinatawag natin na validity mo kasi hindi ka nag-issue ng AOM. Kasi ang doon ay ginawa ng auditing, ginawa ng commission yung tinatawag nating timely action in terms of the prevention of the protection of public funds, di ba? So, yun yung alam.
Yeah. In short, an AOM is not a prerequisite to a notice of disallowance.
Hindi siya. Hindi siya.
And to summarize your point earlier, ma'am, there are several opportunities for her office then to explain the expenses, to explain the use of the confidential funds. Hindi to biglaan na binigyan na lang ng notice of disallowance. May process doon.
Regina, if I may, pag tinignan natin yung proseso yung guidelines, yung Joint Circular 2015-1, it was crafted in such a way na napakataas ng due regard for tinatawag natin na yun nga, protecting yung karapatan ng na mapakinggan, di ba? Kaya cost naman yun di ba? Nabigyan sila ng AOM, nabigyan sila ng pension, and then in other words, nasunod yung progression ng proseso, di ba? From the audit action to the adjudication, di ba? Ngayon, ang tanong dito ay, bakit natin sasabihin na violate yung natin to due process just because yung initial lang nawala di ba?
Yeah.
Yung hindi kayo nag-issue ng OM. Ay, observation lang yun. Actually nga, nung panahon namin, nung mga dalaga pa ako, diretso na nga kami minsan pension and disallowance Kasi yung AOM, para bang hindi ka pa, gusto mo pa ngayong laruhin ng husto. Ito yung tipong may bago kang tinitingnan tapos parang hindi ka pa ganun kalinaw sa posisyon mo kaya medyo i-discuss mo muna.
Yeah.
Ito yung ginawa namin pero may napansin kaming ganito. Lalong-lalo na sa nature ng confidential funds. Kasi nga yung confidential funds, ina-advance mo yung pera. Katulad ng regular expenditure na ang pera makukuha mo kapag kita mo na lahat ng na file mo na yung dokumento at may cheque na, di ba? Ito, balikan. Binibigay mo muna yung cash advance and then sasabihin mo, ayan ang plano mo. Sige, ito yung pera. Basis ng ililiquidate mo naman. Ito na yung certification. Ito na yung plano at ito yung account. So in other words, nasuyod yung due process na yun. I think hindi na valid yung kanilang sinasabi. Ang gusto ko lang idagdag dito, at maganda itong punto na ito, ang biro ko noon, pag ako nag-audit nito, of course hindi ako yung auditor, i-disallow ko yung entire 125 million. Alam mo kung bakit?
Bakit po?
Nung una, on the basis of documents, ito yung aking pagtingin napakalinaw na walang confidential need. Walang need for the confidential fund. Of course, ang sasabihin, bias ka, hindi ka magdedetermine yan. But look at the documentation, diba? Saan din nila? Diba? Makikita mo, kaya nga hindi nagmamatch yung accomplishment report at saka yung kanilang documentation, Pero may isang mas matindi na basihan nito. Ang strength ng tinatawag nating confidential funds ay yung certification. Tama? Kaya nga ang biro dyan, hindi naman ito full audit Ito ay certificate audit or certification audit. Kasi yun lang yung ginagamit kong term. Wala talagang gano'n na Kasi ang ginagamit natin dito ay pagka-submit ng certification, yun lang ang titingnan, yung ikaw. And then pag titingnan lang nila kung anong sinasabi sa certification. So certification, na andun din yun sa joint circular. At pinirmahan ng CEO. Pinirmahan din ng Vice President bilang patunay doon sa certification. Ano ang kaunahang nakalagay sa certification? Nakalagay doon ay certify na ang perang ito ay talaga namang nagastos namin sa confidential funds. Now, ito yon. Nung ni-review ng ISPAW yan, they are just concentrating on the documents that were submitted to them. And then fast forward, there is this Good Governance Committee ba yun, na hearing, kung saan may sworn statement yung Special Disbursing Officer na sinabi niyang, di ba, she was asked kung saan nagdidala. Tapos ang sabi niya something like, hindi ko po alam kasi ibinigay ko lang po. Something like that. After you recall that, Ed? Di ba? So ang ibig sabihin nito, yung attached na certification nila, para ba bang sa kanila ay self-serving lang para meron lang magamit sa Dahil siya mismo, walang knowledge kung ginamit. So, ang ibig sabihin, it is the entire 125 million. Di ba?
Mm-hmm. Parang dumaan lang.
Hindi mo pwede sabihin hindi mo pwede sa 73 lang kasi yung buong 125 ang pinapatunayan mo ngayon dun sa liquidation through a certification na kung saan sinasabi mo, hindi ko nga alam kung paano. Okay, kasi binigay ko lang.
Ma'am,
So the entire amount should be 125.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, the other thing, kasi si Gloria Camora ng COA po said that what is required under the circular is documentary evidence of payment. But we keep hearing again and again the argument na it's confidential funds nga, so you will not see any real names, you will not see any real beneficiaries
Receipts.
because it's confidential. So I'm wondering how that issue is resolved under the joint circular, or at least when you put boots on the ground. Paano sistema yan?
Naandun din doon sa certification eh. Remember, basahin niyo yung certification, nandun mismo. Yung isang certification doon, ang isang nakalagay doon ay that documents, that journals are being kept in the vault,
Apo,
right?
with the
Yung
speaker,
yung
with the Senate President, and with the...
Yung cash disbursement journal ata, oo, yung journal, oo. And these are subject to inspection. So parang
Apo.
sa akin, bakit kaya hindi nasabi? Gusto ko sanang matanong kaya lang wala ang probing question, ano? Did you demand for the submission of the cash disbursement journal? Did you demand for the presentation of the journal? Because that is included in the among the many na sinertify niya at ng Vice President niya, remember? Pero gusto kong palalimin pa ng konti. Nanggagaling ito dun sa confusion in terms of the distinction between a confidential fund and an intelligence fund. At nung araw kasi, Ed, nung araw, iisa lang ang batas for both confidential and intelligence funds. Ngayon, dinigyan natin ng distinction. Sabi natin, yung intelligence fund, ito ay si intelligence agency and intelligence practitioners na may mandato na directly linked with national security. Oo. In which case, talagang manganganib pag binulgar mo yun. But for confidential funds, hindi eh. Ito lang ay mandate in support of the national security. However, there is a civilian agency that has a separate law protecting the confidentiality of the information. Department of Justice. Ang Department of Justice, meron silang civilian agency yan, They have a witness protection program. And because of that, meron silang Republic Act. Sorry hindi ko na-memorize yung Republic Act 69 something, kasama ito yung kung saan nakasabi doon na itong impormasyon na ito, kailangan mo munang i-require sa korte bago mo matingnan ng dokumento. Ngayon, ito yung tanong. Walang ibang civilian agency na may ganyang batas na nag-protect ng information. So, ang ibig sabihin, yung confidential funds ay pwedeng hanapan ng dokumento. Kaya lang, ang malungkot, kahit yung mga auditor ngayon, hindi nila nakikita yung distinction.
Ma'am,
medyo malinaw sa akin.
Ma'am, if I may, I'll just be a bit more specific. For example, kasi ang sabi nga nila, yung Mary Grace Piatos and all that, sabi nila, these are all pseudonyms or these are all nom de guerre or whatever you want to call them. These are not real names daw.
Yeah.
Because it's confidential daw in nature, therefore they cannot submit real names kasi mabubulgar daw yung identities. But are they required to, for example, you mentioned kasi the journal that has to be deposited with the Speaker's office, the Senate President's office, Malacanang, in the vaults. In the journal ba, they're supposed to put the real names? Is there a requirement like that?
Cash disbursement, nakalagay, nakapangalan pa nga yung there should be a cash disbursement journal, I think. Na ako kasi pa ako nag-audit, nasa COA. So, nakalagay pa nga doon na, it's a cash disbursement. Saka, naman ito, practically, usapang lang, di ba? So, ikaw namimigay ng pera. Di ba, kahit na alias yung ilalagay mo sa resibo, meron kang main document kung saan may listahan ka ng tunay na pangalan. Don't tell me, ang pagharap mo sa Vice President mo, sasabihin mo, ma'am, ito po si Mary Grace Piatos, ito po si Of course, meron kang usapan doon na itong si Mary Grace, ito si ganito yan, di ba? Yun ay nakapahayag, nakapaloob sa kanyang certification. Pag binalikan ninyo yung certification, ang form din ay naka-attach doon sa, it is considered as annex to the main joint circular. At yun ay kasama sa liquidation document na isinasubmit sa envelope, di ba? Sasubmit lang nila yung envelope. Yun lang ang may bigat na dokumento doon, the certification. At kasama sa certification na yun, yung sinasabi niya na, ito, may knowledge ako, alam ko na ginamit ito lahat sa confidential funds. Pangalawa, meron akong journal na kinikip ko sa board sa aking opisina. Kasama yun pinirmahan niya yun. So, madalas, it's yung ine-explain ko kapag request ako mag-lecture or kahit na
Yeah.
nagko-consult na sinasabi.
Yeah.
Ito yung mahalaga doon, kahit na sabihin natin na very flexible.
Ma'am, yeah. Ma'am, can I just jump in quickly because we're running out of time? Yung certifications have to be signed by the real people because the other controversy there is NBI
Not
says...
the certification. Ma'am, not the certification. The certification is signed by the SDO.
Ay, sorry,
and
yung ledger,
validated
yung
by
journal.
CBP.
Yung journal has
The
to...
journal, na andun yung listahan ng sino yung dapat yung tunay na pangalan ng
Yes.
listahan mo ngayon.
So it has to be
Yan.
real people who signed the journal as well.
Yep.
Okay, because the
Yep,
other
yep.
controversy there, as I'm sure you know, is the fact that NBI says they suspect only 7 people signed the 36 acknowledgement receipts that were submitted to them based on their forensic investigation.
Well, yun ang magandang ang advantage nito, no? Kasi kami noon hindi kami nakakakuha ng expert, handwriting expert, eto meron. So napakalakas ng ebidensya, di ba? Kasi merong handwriting expert. And even without them naman, halata mo namang halos magkakaparehas yung strokes, di ba? And even the form ng tinatawag nating DEP, hindi papasa kasi pangalan, signature. Wala man lang nakalagay halimbawa na para saan ba ito? O, di ba? Saan ba kayo nagbayaran nito? Anong amount yung tinanggap mo, etc.
Yeah.
So, parang last minute, Yung bang, okay, certify na tayo, tapos, may hinahin yung dokumento. O, sige, manggawa ka. Parang gano'n, Yung liquidation na, sinabit nila January 10.
Yeah.
And yung tax was December 20.
Yeah. So at the very least, the journal should have the real signatures. Last question, ma'am. We're running out of time, but Article 64, kanina ba namin pinag-uusapan?
Yeah.
Ako, di ba?
So
Let's go back.
before you, we were talking to Attorney Sal Panelo, who says yung notice of disallowance is not final. In fact, he insisted it wasn't final, and that they could still go to
Supreme
the Court of
Oh.
Appeals and the Supreme Court to...
We had a back and forth with Sal Panelo there on whether it was final or not, and we were saying na it's certiorari, therefore it is not based on the merits of the judgment,
Yes,
but
yes.
on whether or not there was abuse of discretion. But zooming into that
Yep,
abuse of
yep.
discretion po, what in particular defines abuse of discretion? I mean, what could overturn a judgment like this? If you could give us concrete examples.
Hindi mo nasunod yung due process. For example, binigay ko nga doon sa isang interview, nag-exit conference ka, pinaliwanag mo na hindi siya naka-attend, ganon. Pero ito yung sa regular. In this particular case, ang absence of due process niyan, for example, dumiretso ka sa notice of allowance. Ayun, hindi mo sila nabigyan ng pagkakataon na ma-explain.
Mapaliwanag.
But the very fact na na-explain nila yon, kahit nga doon sa hindi nabigyan ng AOM the fact na na-explain nila at binigyan sila, yung is the initial, ito yung parang opening salvo, Pero pagdating doon sa the fact na hiningan ka ng opportunity to submit the document, and that is through the notice of extension. And then binigyan ka pa ng pagkakataong mag-petition for review. Kaya ka nag-appeal before the commission proper, di ba? That is due process. That is observance of due process.
So you think, or
In-express natin yung due process.
So in your view, there has been no abuse of discretion here?
Sabihin nila, ako, bias ako. Kaya lang, what I wanted to say to Attorney Panelo, of course, I'm not a lawyer at ako naman ay hamak na auditor lang. Kaya lang, nag-audit ako ng confidential funds dati. Ito lang yung kaya ko sabihin. When we talk about validity or regularity of transactions, meron tayong tinatawag na finality of audit. And then may tinatawag tayo exclusive jurisdiction at ito yung sa Commission on Audit. Pag sinabi nilang, hindi pa final yan, pinapalabo lang nila yung kwento di ba? Tinetechnical nila ng husto. Hindi final. As to the process, kasi nga, because of meron pa silang karapatang tumakbo sa Supreme Court. Pero, as far as the Commission on Audit is concerned, inano na ng Commission proper. Pinakamataas na ito ng authority ng Commission, di ba? And I will again repeat, yung tinatawag nating finality of audit. The COA has the exclusive authority in determining the regularity or validity of transaction, of expenditure. So, palagay ko medyo mas piling matitisan yun. At tama kayo, Ed, tama si Regina, ang hinahabol na lang nila, habulin nila rather, kapag mag-claim sila sa Supreme Court is of course yun, nagkaroon ba ng grave abuse. At yung grave abuse na yon, ayan, tinignan ko base sa aking karanasan bilang isang commissioner, nakaupo naman din tayo dyan. Marami kaming nahawakan na kaso. Nakikita ko yung mga cases na nababaligtad kami in terms of grave abuse. Yun ay kung hindi namin nabigyan ng tapat na pagkilala ang kanilang mga elemento at tapat na panahon para sila ay makapag-submit ng tamang dokumento sa tamang oras. Remember, I told a while ago na parang 175 days saka sila nag-submit ng kanilang. So, ang ibig sabihin, they were given the amount
Na maximize.
of time. Oo, di ba? Sabi ko nga, oops, haba nito kulang na lang ng 5 araw So, parang ibig sabihin, binigyan talaga sila ng naging napaka-patient ng Commission on Audit in terms of understanding them, giving them all the rights to be heard and the chance to submit that documents.
Okay. Ma'am, maraming salamat po. Sorry, nabusisi namin kayo ng gusto.
But there's more to talk about as far as confidential funds is concerned. It's good because napag-uusapan ngayon and we can explain it to the viewers, to the audience. Okay, we'll leave that there. Thank you so much for talking to us, former COA Commissioner Heidi Mendoza.
Thank you,
Salamat,
ma'am.
ma'am.